Hello everyone. In this video, we are going to see about professional ethics in engineering. I am Dr. T.M. Inbamalar, working as professor in the Department of Electronics and Communication Engineering, RMK College of Engineering and Technology. Today, I am going to tell you about civic virtues. First, let me tell you about virtues. Then, I'll move on to civic virtue. So, virtues are positive and preferred values. Virtues are desirable attitudes or character traits, motives and emotions that enable us to be successful and to act in ways that develop our highest potential. These virtues energize and enable us to pursue the ideals that we have adapted. Let me say some of the examples for virtues. Honesty, courage, compassion, generosity, fidelity, integrity, fairness, transparency, self-control and prudence. So all this comes under virtues. Virtues are tendencies which include solving problems through peaceful and constructive means. Virtues are like habits once acquired. They become the characteristic of a person. Moreover, a person who has developed virtues will naturally act in ways consistent with moral principles. In short, the virtuous person is the ethical person. Now, with the idea of virtues, let us move to civic virtues. So, civic virtues means virtues of a citizen. So, the civic virtues can be defined as the moral duties and rights a citizen should possess. So, as a citizen of the village or the country or an integral part of the society and environment, what are the moral duties and rights? That comes under civic virtues. So, how an individual can exhibit civic virtue? By voting, by volunteering, by organizing welfare groups and meetings. Now, let me tell you about the duties of an individual with respect to civic virtues. An individual should pay taxes to the local government and the state government in time. An individual should keep the surroundings clean and green. An individual should not pollute water, land and air. So this water, land and air are the natural resources which should not be polluted. So this leads to hygiene, and in order to follow hygiene, one should dispose the garbage properly. Let me tell you some other examples. One should not burn wood, tires, plastic materials because this will pollute the environment. One should not spit in the open space. One should not smoke in the open space, and one should not cause nuisance to the public. So all this comes under the civic virtues. It's very important. An individual should follow the road safety rules. So, now let us move to the rights. Already we have seen the duties. Now let us see the rights with respect to civic virtues. It is the right of an individual to vote for the local or the state government. An individual have the right to contest in the elections to the local or state government. An individual can seek a public welfare facility such as a school, hospital or a community hall, or transport facility, communication facility for the residents. So the individual have the right to avail all these facilities in the place where he or she lives. An individual have a right to establish a green and safe environment, pollution-free, corruption-free society, and to follow the ethical principles. people are said to have the right to breathe in fresh air. So that fresh air should not be polluted by smoking in the public. So no one should be allowed to smoke in the public. People have inalienable right to accept or reject a project in their area. So when there is a proposal from the government regarding a project in a particular area, an individual have the right to accept it or reject it. So in case the people are not interested, if they want to reject the proposal, they can seek the legal remedy in this respect through public interest petition. Now let us move on to the categories of civic virtues. So this can be classified under 4 categories: civic knowledge, self-restraint, self-assertion, and self-reliance. Let us see one by one. First, let me start with civic knowledge. So the citizens must understand what the Constitution says about how the government is working and what the government is supposed to do and what not to do. So the individual should have a clear idea about the Constitution. We must understand the basis of our responsibilities as citizens besides duties and rights. We must be able to recognize when the government or another citizen infringes upon our rights. It implies that the government requires the participation of the enlightened citizens to serve and survive. Now let us move on to self-restraint. For citizens to live in a free society with limited government, each citizen must be able to control himself. So if an individual is not controlling himself or herself, there is a need of a police. The state will become a police state. So the government has to become a dictatorial government to maintain safety and order. Now let us see self-assertion. Self-assertion means that citizens must be proud of their rights and have the courage to stand up in public and defend their rights. Sometimes a government may seize the rights that it was created to protect. In such cases, it is the right of the people to alter the government or abolish that government. So people have the rights to voting. So through voting, they can even abolish the government. Now let us move on to self-reliance. Self-reliant citizens are free citizens in the sense that they are not dependent on others for their basic needs. So basic needs in the sense food, shelter. So they do not need a large provider government which has the potential to become an oppressive government to meet those needs. They themselves will cater their needs. An individual themselves will work and cater their individual needs. They are not depending on the government or any other for their self. Only a strong self-reliant citizen will be able to enjoy fully the blessings of liberty. So, summary: the civic virtues applicable to local, state and central governments nourish freedom and civil liberty at the root of democracy. Thank you for listening. Let us meet in the next video. Thank you.